A wide range of information circulates about Supreme Court redistricting cases, and many people encounter conflicting explanations about what the court actually decided and why. This video explains the ruling in Louisiana versus Calais and outlines how the court reached its conclusion. The Voting Rights Act and the Constitution govern how states draw congressional districts. These rules exist to prevent discrimination in voting and to ensure that district maps follow legal standards. When disputes arise, federal courts review whether a map complies with these requirements. A few terms are important for understanding this case. Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act prohibits voting practices that discriminate based on race. A majority-minority district is a district where a minority group makes up more than half of the voting-age population. Racial gerrymandering refers to drawing district lines based primarily on race. The Jingles test is a legal framework courts use to evaluate whether a map dilutes minority voting power. The dispute began after Louisiana adopted a congressional map in 2022 with one majority black district. A federal court found that the map likely violated Section 2 and ordered the state to create a second majority black district. Louisiana responded with a new map in 2024 that added that district. A group of voters who identified themselves as non-African American challenged the 2024 map, arguing that it relied too heavily on race and violated the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause. A three-judge federal court agreed and blocked the map, but the Supreme Court temporarily paused that ruling and later heard arguments. The justices asked the parties to address whether intentionally creating a second majority-minority district violated the 14th or 15th Amendments. By the time of the second argument, only the black voters continued to defend the 2024 map. In its decision, the Supreme Court held that Louisiana's 2024 map was unconstitutional because the state used race without a compelling justification. The majority concluded that the Voting Rights Act did not require Louisiana to draw a second majority-minority district in this instance. The court also stated that the challengers to the 2022 map had not met the requirements of the Jingles test, including providing an alternative map that met the state's goals and showing racial voting patterns that could not be explained by party affiliation. Because the court found no legal requirement to create the additional district, it ruled that the 2024 map was an unconstitutional racial gerrymander. This ruling does not eliminate Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. It does not decide every future redistricting dispute. It does not prevent states from considering traditional districting criteria such as compactness or protecting incumbents. It also does not determine the legality of partisan gerrymandering, which the court addressed separately in earlier cases. The decision affects how states approach redistricting when race and party preference overlap. It sets new expectations for what plaintiffs must show when challenging maps under Section 2. It also influences how states justify their districting choices, especially when responding to earlier court orders. After the ruling, the Supreme Court's judgment will normally be sent to the lower court after a standard waiting period. In this case, the challengers asked the court to send the decision immediately so Louisiana could consider adopting a new map before the 2026 elections. The court may act quickly because election deadlines are approaching. This explanation outlined the background of the case, the legal standards involved, the court's reasoning, and the practical effects of the ruling. This channel provides process-based explanations without opinion on Neutral News Network.